It turns out that today is International Pronouns Day. Did you know that, bigot? Of course you didn't. Why? Because you're a bigot, I just mentioned. I didn't know it either. I just found out. How does it become an International Pronoun Day, by the way? Like, do the Chinese celebrate it? Do the people in Uganda also celebrate it? It's quite interesting. Like, why does it make it international? And another question, which is also equally valid, is how many days do we have for things? Like last month, there was International Cat Appreciation Day. I'm not kidding. Like, look it up. August. International Cat Appreciation Day. That's a thing. Although, hold on, I may have made a mistake. Okay, it's Black Cat Appreciation Day. Sorry, I'm a bigot. Alright, because the black cats have suffered prejudice in the past at the hands of the church. So because of that, tabby cats, they don't get that appreciation day. It's just black cats appreciation day. I almost got racist. I would almost say something that would get PETA to come after me, but luckily I managed to correct myself in time. And then you have, the common ones, Women's Day and whatever. LGBT, I think, gets an entire month. But what I'm trying to say is that everything has a day now. Masturbation Day, when is that? It's probably the only thing that doesn't have a day. I think that's because it's every day, huh? For some of you. Probably myself included. Who knows? You will never know. And not knowing is what keeps you sane at night. But International Pronouns Day. So the Department of State in the US managed to take a little bit time off from the trivial things. Like, I don't know, the pandemic, the shortages that are going on, the electricity, the energy crisis, like all of those, they're put on hold a little bit to focus on the things that matter, which is lecturing people about pronouns. Beautiful, isn't it? I mean, I'm touched. So through the magic of taxpayer money, I get to be educated about pronouns, even though I'm from Romania, but it's great. It's absolutely great. Pay more, Americans. Pay more for my education. I will write it on a resume. I have been educated by the Department of State on pronouns. Next time I get a job, it's going to be on my resume. Now, I love the picture. Very diverse, right? So you have like people in India. I guess they also celebrate the pronoun day. Is this a Muslim? Right? So Muslim people celebrate it. I guess in Qatar, they're probably very thrilled about it. And you also have, is this like a Chinese person supposed to be? Kind of difficult. But okay, so everyone is celebrating. Good. That's excellent. I love unity, healing, and strength. Now let me tell you what I think about the pronouns before this website tells you about the pronouns. So overwhelmingly, you're going to see pronouns online. There is an exception, like offline, and it's usually in corporations. So not mom and pop stores. It's usually the diversity lady or the HR department, which tells people to put their pronouns wherever they can, whether it's an email or whether it is a survey, right? So it's top down. It's not natural. It's almost like the boss at the company you work will tell you to knock on wood 3 times before entering the building. Just because people start doing that, it doesn't mean it's their sincere belief, like they genuinely want to knock on wood before entering the building. No, they have a job. They're told to do it, so they're doing it. And this is another thing that's interesting. It's the Department of State is telling people it's like nearly, not even one, but nearly 1 in 5 US adults know someone who goes by gender-neutral pronouns. Well, I would probably go by gender-neutral pronouns as well if I was in a company. They give you a lot of power, right? The moment someone doesn't zurher me, I'm going to the diversity lady, motherfucker. I'm going to take your job. Going to climb that social ladder. Why did you not zurher me? Your mistake. That's how you climb the corporate ladder. That's how I would climb the corporate ladder. I don't know about you. That's how I would do it. On the resignations of my colleagues. We're not here to make friends. We are here to become the CEO. Anyway, so that's the thing that happens offline. You get people that use it in a corporate environment. The overwhelming majority of them. And then you have the people online. Now, online, I can understand if it's a transgender person that wants to transition, so they put their pronouns out. Okay, fine. Or if it's a person that is non-binary and wants to make sure that people use the correct pronoun. Okay, fine. But then you have people like me. Why would someone like me wear a pronoun online, on Twitter? Again, two reasons. Maybe I'm from 4chan and I want to get a couple of social justice activists banned. Not kidding, like they actually did that. They used they, them pronouns. They started arguing with left-leaning people, and the moment they would use the wrong pronoun, report. They got banned. Unironically, it was kind of hilarious because they didn't understand why they were getting banned. It's like, the rules. You made the rules. The rules are there. Why are you complaining? The rules. Now, there's another group of people, right? And the other group of people, I think, is the overwhelming majority. These are the people that want to show they belong to a certain subgroup. So, if I was a goth person and I want other people to know that I listen to goth, what do? I put on the correct attire that's associated with goth. If I'm a heavy metal connoisseur, what do? I dress with the appropriate attire. So it's kind of like fashion. You put on something so other people can identify you that you're part of an ideology. The best example is with religious people, at least the Orthodox. I'm not sure if the Catholics did it, but with the Orthodox, they would wear a crucifix around their neck. And it was 3 types of Christians that do this. Like, number one, it was the Christians that did it for themselves. So they wanted to feel that they have a closer communion with God. They wanted to feel that they have like something to cling on to when they're praying in public. And it was a crucifix. Now, usually, the Christians who genuinely believed, they would have like a small wooden crucifix, like something very tiny, usually hidden around their clothing. And then you have the other 2 groups of Christians. Then you have the Christians that wanted other people to know how pious they are. And these Christians, they would have like a massive crucifix, either like very huge, tsuyoi, or it was one made out of solid gold. And they would put it on display. So these weren't Christians that were trying to have a better communion with Jesus to receive salvation. No, these were Christians that wanted everyone else around them to respect just how much they believe in Jesus. So they wanted to awe people with their piety. They wanted to put their piety on display. Usually, and this is from my lived experience, I don't have a doctor with a lab coat that did the study, but usually people who try to show what an excellent person they are some of the most scummy people on earth. And they're just trying to distract from their scumminess. It's like, look, I'm an excellent person. I'm a very religious person. Please don't look at any of my other affairs. Now, finally, the third group of people that would wear crucifixes were people who weren't Christians, but found themselves in a very religious environment. So, for example, if your parents sent you at a Catholic school, and everyone around you is Catholic, but you're not, and you don't want to be ostracized, you want to have friends, what do? Well, everyone else starts to notice that you don't fast, you don't go to church, you don't really know the Bible, and because of that, they're going to start to suspect that maybe you're an atheist. At which point, you put on a crucifix in order to hide, to blend in like a chameleon. And it's pretty much the same with the pronouns in the bio. You have the people that wear them to show how excellent human beings are to others, how progressive they are, even though, going back to my previous comparison with the crucifix, nowhere in the Bible does it say you have to wear a crucifix. Nowhere in the Bible does it say you need to display wealth and wear a gold chain, right? It's the same with the pronouns in the bio. Nowhere in the literature, nowhere in the science does it say that trans people are being helped if you wear pronouns in the bio. Absolutely nowhere. But they choose to do it as a fad in order to show what excellent human beings are. You see, they care more about trans rights than you do. Why? Because they have pronouns in the bio and you don't, you bigot. So it's us versus them now. And then it's the people that legitimately want to hide. Like maybe they want a job at a progressive company and they want to show that they have a pristine social media account, just like all the other pristine and righteous people in society. Because that's what matters. It doesn't matter just how good you are at your job. As I understand, meritocracy is heteronormative, patriarchal, white supremacy. So if meritocracy doesn't matter, then you need to show that you're a good person. How do you show you're a good person? You put pronouns in the bio. And that's why people put pronouns in the bio. Now, Share America doesn't really explain why they do it is they pretty much say, well, it's because they just want people to know what gender they are. Bullshit. Okay, I went through life stereotyping people's gender. So it's how I went through life. 99.9% of the time I was right. If I did it, so can you. If you don't do it properly, you don't know how to stereotype. Now, what's interesting is that they talk about how the White House also is going to prevent discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation, blah, blah, blah. So title, blah, blah, blah. In other words, you get punished if you don't comply. By the way, Jordan Peterson was vindicated, wasn't he? He predicted the future, didn't he? Like in Canada, he said that they're trying to push for compelled speech, that if you don't say the correct terms, you might get in trouble. And people were like, nonsense. I should make a video about it. Like the fact checkers. They debunked Jordan Peterson, and it turns out that a person got fined in Canada for using the wrong pronoun. That's fascinating, isn't it? I didn't know that. The fact checkers were wrong. I was astonished. I think this should be on national news, like CNN should cover it. Fact checkers were wrong. I mean, this changes everything we know. It completely reshapes the way society functions, because we relied on the fact that the fact checkers are right, but fact checkers were wrong. What do we do next? You listen to my channel. That's what you do next. And I will be covering an interesting event at Netflix. Apparently, the supporters of Dave Chappelle has interacted with the supporters that were against Dave Chappelle. That's very interesting, isn't it? On my other channel, Lack of Entertainment, link is into the pinned comment. Just scroll down a little bit and click it, and it will take you there. I will see you there. Enjoy.